Hi friends, in this video we will learn more about nested loops. When a for or a while statement is present inside another for or while statement, it is known as a nested loop due to the presence of a control flow loop inside another loop. In a nested loop, for each iteration of the outer loop, the inner loop undergoes complete iteration. Thus, if there are n iterations of the outer loop and m iterations of the inner loop, the code block inside the inner loop executes n into m times. For example, let us nest a for statement inside another for statement. The outer loop iterates over the range 1 to 4. The inner loop iterates over the range 1 to 3. The inner block prints the current value of I and j whenever it is executed. Now, let us execute the code. As you can observe, for each value of I, j undergoes complete iteration. When I is assigned the value 1, the inner loop undergoes 2 iterations, where j is assigned value 1 and 2. Hence, the output is 1 1 followed by 1 2. Similarly, for I equal to 2, the output is 2 1 and 2 2, as j again undergoes 2 iteration. And finally, for I equal to 3, the output 3 1 and 3 2 is produced. Now, let us check out what happens when you add a break statement in a nested loop. When a break statement is executed in a nested loop, it terminates the loop, which immediately encloses it. That is, a break statement inside the inner loop will terminate only the inner loop, whereas the outer loop will remain unaffected. To develop a better understanding, let us write nested for statements, both of which iterate in the range 1 to 4. Let us add an if condition inside the inner loop, which checks whether the current value of I plus j is divisible by 3. If yes, then the break statement is executed, which terminates the inner loop. Let us do a dry run to determine the output. When the value of I is 1 and the first iteration of j is 1, I plus j is 2. That is not divisible by 3. Hence, 1 1 is displayed as an output. Now, the next iteration of inner loop assigns the value 2 to j. I plus j is 3, which is divisible by 3. Hence, break statement is executed and inner loop is terminated. Now, the next number in the outer range, that is 2, is assigned to I. As the first iteration of inner loop assigns the value 1 to j, I plus j is 3, which is divisible by 3. Hence, break statement is executed and the inner loop is terminated. Now, the next iteration of the outer loop assigns the value 3 to I. The first iteration of the inner loop assigns the value 1 to j. I plus j is 4, which is not divisible by 3. Hence, 3 1 is displayed as an output. The next iteration of the inner loop assigns the value 2 to j. I plus j is 5, which is again not divisible by 3. Hence, 3 2 is displayed as an output. Now, the next and the final iteration of the inner loop assigns the value 3 to j. As I plus j is 6, which is divisible by 3, hence the inner loop is terminated and no output is printed. As it is also the last iteration of the outer loop, the flow exits the loop